So, Hare Krishna, all the devotees, welcome all of you. We'll start with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangam lankayati girim, yat tamam mande Shri Gurun Dunitarine. Paramananda Madhav. So, welcome all the devotees after a very long time. And today we'll be continuing our discussion what we have been doing in the ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And today we'll try to cover something very interesting aspects of Krishna's teaching today. Let me share the screen with all of you. I think we'll be covering 16th verse of the ninth chapter. Take the 16th verse. Which verse are we discussing today? 16th verse. So we'll be discussing the ninth chapter, 16th sloka. Aham kartur aham yagna sudham sudha aham oshadham mantro aham evagnam aham agnir aham hutam. So if anybody would like to chant the shloka, I can chant one more times. Aham kartur aham yagna sudha aham oshadam mantro aham evagnam aham agnir aham hutam. So we'll go with the translation and purport. Translation. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Purport. The sacrifice known as Jyoti Stoma is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagna. The oblations offered to the Pitriloka or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitriloka, considered as a kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna. And many other commodities made with milk product for offering in the sacrifices are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because the fire is one of the five material energies elements and is therefore claimed as a separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or in other words, those who engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So this is a very interesting verse Krishna is speaking here. And as we know, this chapter is known as the most confidential knowledge, the knowledge which is most confidential in nature. And Krishna had revealed what that most confidential knowledge looks like, wherein he started in the beginning of this chapter itself that Mayam tadam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matsani sarvabhutani nachaham tesha vastitaha. That by me, in my unmanifested form, I am all pervasive. Everything's are in me, but I am not in them. And then he said, everything is created does not rest in me. I am the maintainer of all living entities. Then he gave the example how the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests in ethereal space. So everything rests in me. Then he said, the whole cosmic order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again. So basically, in all those verses, Krishna is saying, it is me only who exists. There is nothing apart from me in this material world. It is me who is all pervasive. It is me who is ruling the world. It is me who is maintaining the world. It is me who has done everything in this material world. And now, in these verses, started from 16th to 19th, and many more verses in the 10th chapter, Krishna will be going in detail that how he is all pervasive, that how he is ruling the world, how he is controlling everything in this material creation. In this specific verse, what is he saying? Aham kartur aham yagna. Let us try to understand what Krishna is trying to say in these verses. It says aham kartur. Aham kartur means kartu means the ritual,
Aham
the
kartu
ritualistic activities.
aham yagna.
So I would be muting here, Adhika ji, because I think there'll be some distraction from the microphone. Thank you. So aham kartur means the ritual. So Krishna is saying, I am the ritual. So what kind of ritual Krishna is, and what does ritual do to us? So ritual is something which we execute to do certain activities. Let's say we have a morning rituals, we have a bed night rituals, we have the rituals of going before the when we go out of the house. We have rituals connected to each and every activity we do in each and every aspect of our life. So, so Krishna is saying, I am the ritual, but it is I who am the ritual. So, what kind of ritual Krishna is? So, it is said that if we want to become something, we have to develop some kind of habits. So, if we wants to become successful in our life, we have to develop those kind of successful habit, the habit which successful people has, and the habit what successful people have are connected to some ritual, some activity what they should do. They should do this, they should do that, they should not do this, they should not do that. Some ritual, some activities. So here, what does it mean when Krishna is saying that I am the ritual? It simply means that ritual which helps us connecting to him and which are offered according to our love for that activity. Because if you want to gain something in our life, let's say we want to uh, do something for our mother. Ritually, we do something for our mother. At the core of my heart, I want to give something to my mother. I love my mother. I care for my mother. That's why I'm doing some rituals for my mother. So any ritual means I have some sort of love for the end result. I need that result. That is what I am looking for. Similarly, when Krishna is saying that I am the ritual, so the feeling towards that result, that okay, if I the object of my ritual, who is the object of my ritual here? It is Krishna. If I'm doing any ritual for Krishna, it is showing my love towards him. It may not be the direct core pure love, but it is some sort of affection, some sort of obedience to the Lord. So it means the ritual, that activity is Krishna itself, because Krishna is connecting us with him. If unless Krishna wants us to get connected to him, we can't really connect to him. So when we are performing those rituals, means Krishna is facilitating me to, and he's allowing me to connect it to him by that activity. So Krishna says, I am that activity. That is what he's saying. Aham kartu, I am the ritual. Then he's saying, Aham yagna. Aham yagna means I am the sacrifice. Because if you see, if you want to achieve anything in this world, we cannot achieve in this world unless we sacrifice for that. So if we want to, let's say, become a good engineer, we have to sacrifice our time, we have to sacrifice our energies, and to be able to become engineer, you have to go to the college, you have to sacrifice money, right? So if we want to achieve anything in this world, we have to sacrifice something for that. And let's say we want to have a successful career, for that also we have to sacrifice. If let's say we want to have a good son or good parents or good, let's say, good upbringing of my child's, you have to sacrifice for that. You love somebody, you sacrifice for that. So love is very much dependent upon the sacrifice. So before we start loving somebody, we have to show that love to somebody. And how we can show that love to somebody? When we sacrifice for that somebody. Similarly, in the third chapter, Krishna speaks a lot about this sacrifice. Krishna says, unless you sacrifice for me, you can't approach me. So sacrificing for Krishna is Krishna himself. It is very interesting. Because the process of sacrifice, what Krishna has given us, we one form of sacrifice, what we know, is a fire sacrifice. And in the purport, Prabhupada is saying the sacrifice known as Jyotistoma is also Krishna, the sacrifice which are fire sacrifice which are performing. And we offer butter to the fire while performing the sacrifice. So that is also Krishna, because the butter is Krishna's energy. Ultimately, if you see, the butter is coming from cow, and cow is eating grass. Grass is because of the sunlight, because of the earth, it grows on the earth. And the cow belongs to Krishna. It is Krishna's one of the way Krishna is creating the different species. So cow belongs to Krishna, the grass belongs to Krishna, grass come from earth which also belongs to Krishna, the sunlight which helps the grass to grow, it also coming from Krishna, the water which is required in a form of rainfall is coming from Krishna. So in that way, if you see, ultimately the butter is coming from Krishna, is Krishna in that way. Something coming from him is him, and it is Krishna. It is said that the chanting what we perform in the sacrifice itself, sacrifice, we chant some mantras. That chant is also Krishna's representation. The sacrifice, the clarified butter is Krishna. The butter, that the commodity, the chanting we are performing is Krishna. And the fire is also Krishna, because the fire which is burning there, it is one of Krishna's five material energies: earth, water, fire, air, ether, Panchabhutas. Krishna says, Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhir, Evacha. Ahankar, Itiyam में भिन्ना में प्रकृति रष्टता. It is my prakriti. So fire is coming from Krishna. Fire is coming from Krishna. Milk is coming from Krishna, with which we are preparing some prasadam to offer in the sacrifice. And with the hand I am performing, that is also coming from Krishna. So in that way, the process itself, the process of sacrifice itself is Krishna. So basically, what Krishna is trying to say here is, don't think you're sacrificing anything. We think we're sacrificing something. We're sacrificing our money, we're sacrificing our time, we're sacrificing so many things. And ultimately, we're going to get Krishna. But the thing which you're sacrificing is also Krishna, is also coming from Krishna. So in that way, that is not a really we are sacrificing something. let's say Hari Nam Yagna, the chanting of Krishna's holy name is also sacrifice, isn't it? So, in this sacrifice of holy name, chanting the holy name, let us compare what is what here. So, what is a fire? What is a Havan Kunda here? Because in the sacrifice, you have to have that kunda where the fire is burning, right? In that kunda. So, what is a fire here? Or what is a kunda here, first of all? The kunda is our ears. Our ears, in the process of chanting, becomes the Havan Kunda, the place of fire sacrifice. That is where the fire is going to the fire is going to burn, and I'm going to offer my oblations. I have to offer that swaha, that you have to offer something into the fire, right? That yagna shishta we say. So now, but what are we offering into the ears? If you see during our chanting process, what are we offering to the ears? We are offering Hare Krishna Mahamantra itself. Our speech, the sound. The sound become the object of sacrifice. We're sacrificing the sound, our capability to offer sound. In the fourth chapter, Krishna says, very interesting verse, that sound of brahmachari are supposed to be sacrificing their sound in the fire of controlled mind. A beautiful verse which comes there. Let me pull out that verse. Yeah, here it is in the fourth chapter, 26th verse. It says, Shrota adini indriyani अन्ये samyamya agnisau juvati sabda adin vishayan अन्ये indra agniso juyati. It says, some of them, basically in this chapter, Krishna is describing different kinds of sacrifices. Sacrifices, what different kinds of people should do. What Krishna is saying here, some of them sacrifice the hearing process. We have that object of sound. The sound is that Yagna Shista, that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what we are chanting, and the ears become the hearing process become the sacrifice. When we are hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is like you're putting one swaha. Like we offer the fire of oblation, we take the samagri, we put into the fire. The speaking, that sound, we are offering into the ear. So my hearing process, my capability to hear something is the one which is getting consumed. I'm consuming that fire. I'm consuming that element of offering into the fire of hearing. It's very interesting. Then it says, and senses in the fire of controlled mind. And others sacrifice the object of senses such as sound in the fire of sacrifice. So the fire, what is fire here, which is burning, which is consuming your sound? So in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, how do we absorb the sound? Because if you see, the fire absorb all the samagri, right? If you put anything into the fire, it will absorb, it will burn it, it will absorb it, it will digest it. So when we're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, how do we make sure that we are digesting the object of sacrifice, that yagna samagri, that yagna sista, that coming from the mouth, that Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It is hitting onto the ears, but if we are not attentive towards it, if we are not having the controlled mind, what does a controlled mind refer to here is? Controlled mind means you're sacrificing your attention, you're giving your attention to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when we have a controlled mind, we are focused on the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is like the fire is consuming, is digesting that energy. So in that way, chanting means you have the Havan Samagri, you have the Yagna Shista, you have that the object of sacrifice, what you are sacrificing. But if there is no, you don't put it into the fire, will it really be considered as Yagna? No. So it will not be considered as a Yagna if we are not offering into the fire of oblation, into the control mind. If we don't have the control mind, or if we are not giving attention to the holy name when we are chanting, it is just like you're offering the yagna shista in the side of Havan Kunda, not in the fire. So unless you offer the object of sacrifice into the fire, it will not be accepted. It will be accepted because it will be offering in a mode of offering, you have offered that, but it will not reach, or it will not completely give you that benefit. I hope I am clear in that. So the sound which I'm uttering Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that becomes, unless we hear the sound by putting that into the eardrum, and the eardrum is compared to the that fire of place of sacrifice, and the fire is compared to the controlled mind, and that Hare Krishna Mahamantra what I'm uttering is like I'm sacrificing that. That I'm sacrificing my ability to speak. In that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is been is when I'm speaking Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is my capability. I'm sacrificing my hearing capacity in that particular way, and when it goes to the ears, it get absorbed into your mind. That is where the sacrifice is complete. And when the sacrifice is complete, what happens once we get sacrifice? When we do sacrifice, what happens? We receive the prasadam. We receive the benefit of sacrifice. And what is the benefit we are receiving by sacrificing our mind, by sacrificing our attention, by sacrificing our hearing process, by sacrificing our speaking abilities for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by for pleasing Hare Krishna Mahamantra? We are receiving the blessings of Hare Krishna Mahamantra by in the form of purification of the heart. The result is I'm getting intelligence, I'm getting strength, I'm getting purification from the holy name when we are sacrificing for the holy name. So in that sense, if you see, and Krishna himself says, Yagna Nam Japosmi. If you see the 10th chapter, 25th verse, so I'm not making it up by myself. Oh, Prabhuji has made this or chanting process to be sacrificed. No, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 25th verse. If you see the 10th chapter, 25th verse, what Krishna is saying here, Krishna is saying, Yagna Nam Japosmi, Japo Aham. Yagna Nam Japo Yagna, Asmi Aham. Japa Yagna. Yagna of Japa. The chanting becomes a sacrifice. So the kind of benefit you get by doing the proper homa of, calling the priest to your house and performing, creating the sacred space and cleaning the space, and bringing the wood and putting the ghee into it. The benefit which you get by performing that sacrifice is is very, very minuscule in front of what benefit we get by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Isn't it interesting? And then Krishna is saying, I am the offering to the ancestors. What did Krishna say? I am the ritual, aham kartur, aham yagna, swada aham aushadam. If you see, swadha, swadha means oblation. Okay, aushadam. So he is the oblation to the ancestors, offering to the ancestors. As we know, when somebody passes away, we do Pitra Paksha. We have Pitra Paksha. We offer sacrifice to the ancestors. Shraddha ceremonies we perform. Because somebody whom we want to offer our love, our gratitude, somebody who has passed away, there's a process for that. And once we follow that process and we offer something for that soul's benefit, it reaches to him. So it is out of love and it is out of gratitude that we are offering that particular element to that my ancestors. It's like love and gratitude for my ancestors. So in this process, I'm developing a feeling that ultimately my original ancestor is, my original root cause is Krishna. Ancestor means they gave us something and we are coming from them. That's a feeling what we have, right? So, but when we give it to Krishna, when we give it to the ancestors, we're developing a feeling in the heart that we should be grateful and loving to our source. In that case, it is our ancestors. That's what we feel immediately. Is the immediate source for our reality. but ultimate cause is Krishna. So if you're appreciating the immediate cause, then slowly we are going to appreciate the ultimate cause also. That's the actual purpose of having all those rituals. That is Krishna. It is connected to Krishna ultimately. So Krishna is saying, I am the offering to the ancestors, because that offering is going to ultimately will going to help you in developing love towards me. That is Krishna. I am the healing herbs. If you see the healing herbs, whenever we get any disease, we whenever we get any disease, what happens? We need something to heal our body. Let's say I get cold and cough. So I need something which can help me clearing my cough and cold. If I'm getting headache, I need something which can heal my headache. If I'm getting body pain, I want something which can heal my body pain. So we need healing herbs. We need healing elements which can help me healing my pain. And interestingly, there are different herbs which are mentioned in the Vedic literatures. For specifically each ailment, we have different kinds of herbs. So if let's say lavender helps you stress reliever, help you becoming calm, lavender. So each we have those essential oils. So each essential oils can help you in a particular way because they have been derived from that particular plant. So how does the plant get the ability to heal you? Because it is same earth, same sunlight, same water which they are consuming to give you those particular medicinal abilities, medicinal qualities in those herbs, where it is coming from, and how specifically something, some specific disease of mine, there is specific herbs for that. So how does the nature knows that okay, in the human form of body, we can have different kinds of diseases, and for each and every kind of diseases, there is a specific treatment or specific chemicals, specific prescription which is required, medicine which is required for that particular disease. And for each medicines, there is specific herbs which are, and those medicinal properties are present in those herbs. Isn't it fascinating? That nature knows that this human form of body will have different kinds of diseases, and there's a specific medicine which is required to cure the disease, and those specific medicinal properties are present in those specific herbs. Very fascinating. And those herbs are coming from where? It is coming from same earth. It is being coming from same sunlight, same water. So which is this magic here? Which is specifically able to produce those medicinal qualities which is required for me to cure a particular disease. So can it happen without Krishna's personal intervention? No, it can't happen. So it is Krishna who is investing his own healing power into that. It is Krishna's healing energy which is there in those plants, and when we are consuming those herbs, actually we are being taken care by Krishna. Krishna is enveloping us, Krishna is blanketing us, and Krishna is creating that healing energy in my body because of his love towards me. So basically, if you, let's say, we have a healing hand. Some people have those special abilities. By their hand, they can heal. Just by touch of that hand, we can get healed. Right? We have some people like that. So when we are eating those herbs, those Ayurvedic herbs, what's happening there? Basically, Krishna is giving his touch to us because Krishna's touch is most healing. And when we are touching Krishna and touching Krishna's care, we're touching Krishna's affection. We're touching Krishna's compassion for us by consuming that herb. Because if Krishna is not caring me, if Krishna is not compassionate towards me, Krishna will not Krishna will not invest those healing properties in those herbs. If Krishna has invested his healing potencies in those herbs, which is going to cure my disease, what does it mean? That Krishna is loving me, Krishna is caring for me. And when we're touching those herbs, we should feel okay, it is Krishna's love and Krishna's compassion I am receiving now. which is going to heal my body. And with the healed body and healed mind, I can better execute Krishna's service and better chant and in a better state of mind to be able to in start my process of self realization. So in that way, when we consume any herbs, we can think of Krishna. When we consume any medicines, we can think of Krishna, because ultimately it is coming from Krishna. So in that way, we can be in touch with Krishna's ideas, Krishna's care, Krishna's compassion, which is all pervasive. It is everywhere, it is surrounding us, by taking inspiration from these verses. So Krishna is saying, I'm the ritual, I'm the sacrifice, I'm the offering to the ancestors, I'm the healing herbs, I'm the transcendental chant which is being chanted in the Vedic sacrifices, I'm the butter, and I'm the fire of and the offering. Ultimately, Krishna says, I am everything in that particular way. So we'll have many verses like that, wherein Krishna is explaining his presence in our life, and by getting inspiration from these verses, we can start seeing Krishna everywhere in our lives. So with this, we'll conclude. If anybody have any doubts, any questions, maybe we can discuss about it. Anybody have any doubts, any questions? Anything somebody would like to ask what we have discussed till now? Okay. So now just wanted to conclude by saying that when we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is sacrifice we're making for Krishna. So I hope all of you are chanting different number of rounds, and I inspire you to continue to chant so that you can think that as a sacrifice. And sometimes it's painful, but we should think, okay, I'm sacrificing it for Krishna. I'm investing in my relationship with Krishna. Sometimes if we want to develop any relationship, it needs sacrifice. So now every pain, every amount of difficulties, every amount of challenge I'm undertaking in investing in my relationship with Krishna, it is going to bloom one day in my love towards the Lord. And He is going to reciprocate. He's still reciprocating, and He will just keep on increasing His reciprocation. That is very pleasing. So when we are in love with somebody, we don't mind sacrificing something for that person. So in that mood, so our sacrifice is a signal, is a way I'm showing to Krishna that I want to be with you, I want to love you, and I want to reciprocate with you, I want to establish relationship with you. We're giving these ideas, we're giving this signal, we're sending this message to Krishna. And now the more we are taking sacrifice for Krishna, the more we are sending message to Krishna that I want to be with you. And Krishna is going to respond to those messages very soon. So with this, we'll conclude. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.